Gigi here. Hey guys, like, comment, subscribe below. And we are back with another Bible study. As you guys can see, I am in a different location. I normally do my Bible study videos at the local State Lake Park with all the nature because I go hiking there. But I am on vacation and I do not want to neglect my calling and what I promised God I was going to do. And this morning, He woke me up early for praise and worship, and I remembered like, oh, I wanted to talk about Moses. So on this video I will be talking about Moses, which is the book of Exodus. Okay, so if I know everyone's familiar with the story of Moses, basically him being a Hebrew baby and God sparing his life and the Pharaoh taking him in and him becoming a prince and giving him that favor, and then God pulling him out of that and giving him a different assignment, a different purpose to free the slaves. So it's so many lessons in Moses' story, and I just wanted to touch on a few key points. So I guess we can start from when God spared his life. Like, sometimes you're in situations and God will spare you. That's something that's super awesome. He'll always give you a way out. That's something that my mom used to tell me when I was really young. Like, when you're doing the wrong thing or something bad is happening, God will always give you a means of escape. So I thought that was awesome. That was a key point to point out. And then as he gets older, when God came to him, and I'm just going to show you guys that on my other phone. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame out of fire, out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. So basically God came to him and told him, like, you're going to be the one to save all the slaves. So in doing this was very hard for Moses, because one, he's already in a situation where he's the prince of this empire, and it kind of feels like a betrayal to them. Like, he grew up as the Pharaoh being his father. He grew up with, a sibling and a mom, and he had love for them. But that's also another lesson, that sometimes when you're in sin or when you're in the wrong thing, you care about the people around you, even though y'all might be doing the wrong things. But when God says you have to come out of it, you have to come out of it. And it doesn't mean that you hate those people, but it just means you have to be pulled from that situation, and you can't deal with them the same way you used to deal with them. Real life example, like if you're on drugs and you have a certain group of friends and y'all do drugs, if God pulls you out of that life, you can't be around those same friends, because then you're going to be prone to going back into that life. So that was something very hard for Moses, I know, to just like completely abandon his purpose that he thought he had within being a prince. Okay, so when God went to Moses, he wanted him to be able to speak and perform miracles on his behalf. The problem was Moses had like a speech problem where he couldn't really talk like that. So he had to go to his brother Aaron to get help. Now, real life example, when you're dealing with family or friends or people, sometimes it's hard to go to people like, this is what God told me to do, or this is what I feel like in my heart or my mind I should be doing, and try to convince them to help you. A lot of times family and friends will shoot down your dreams, shoot down, things that you think are important, because they don't think that they're that important. So during the time of Moses having to perform all these miracles and do all these things, it was hard because he's dealing with his brother, then he's dealing with the Pharaoh, then he's dealing with all of the people who we have to save as well. I just feel like it was a lot on Moses. And sometimes we could be doing great things in life and it just feels overwhelming and overbearing. But this is just encouragement for people out there that you're not the first and you're not going to be the last. So then I also want to talk about the miracles. So when Moses was performing these miracles, the Pharaoh would have, people like witches, whatever false prophets, whatever you want to call them, try to perform the same miracles to kind of like discredit God. And like, could you imagine that? Like, you can't discredit God, but as human beings on the earth, we go through so much stuff where people try to discredit you. And that's something I say a lot in my personal life. The first thing a hater gonna do is try to discredit you. Like, they're gonna try to wreck your foundation. They'll lie on your character. They'll lie about things you said, things you did, how you are, because they want to discredit you so that the truth will not stand. But like the Bible says, God is the way, the truth, and the life. So the truth will always sustain. The truth is going to always outlive a lie. So Moses was dealing with that headache as well, like performing these great miracles that God is doing through him, but then them trying to discredit it and say, well, my witches or my whatever, they can do the same thing. So when he does finally get to the point of freeing everyone, and then they're exploring this land, I laugh so much at these particular parts, and it's kind of hard for me right now, guys, to find it on my digital Bible because I wasn't that prepared this morning. If I had my real Bible with me, then I could just go straight to the page, but when I'm doing it digitally, it's like a little harder. But during the time where Moses has saved them and they're walking the land, like they're in the forest to try to get to the land that God promised them of milk and honey, like they was getting on Moses' nerves. Like, could you imagine saving people and then turn around and they're still questioning you, they're still doubting, they're still not having faith? So like Moses was like aggravated when God told him to make the 10 commandments. He had broke them. He was just aggravated with the people, because it's like after God saved you, after he showed you all these wonders, you're still doubting. And I feel like as human beings sometimes we do that as well. Like, it's God will help us, save us over and over again, show us miracles over and over again, and then we still have a problem being disciplined or listening to God, or just staying on the straight and narrow. Like human beings, like we're pleased and then we're unpleased, we're hard to please, you know what I mean? So Moses was dealing with that as well. And what gets me at the end of Moses' story is that the land of milk and honey, he wasn't even there to see it. Like, he had did all these miracles, lived this beautiful life, saved these people, and all the work that he put in, when it got to the end, to the reward, he had passed. He wasn't even there when they made it to that beautiful land that God promised them. So that just also showed to me that sometimes the work that we do on this earth, it will benefit future generations. We might not be there to see it. So that's basically it, guys. It was just so many little gems in his story and in that book of Exodus, and I just wanted to share that with you guys while I'm on vacation. And I hope you guys like the scenery that I picked. This is by the pool. I am in Guatemala. I had to tell you guys that. But I just pray that this word blesses someone, opens somebody's eyes to the goodness of the Lord, and intrigues them to build their own relationship with God. Okay? Alright, guys. GG gang. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.